Hello again, everyone. Welcome back from the break. I want to make sure that the screen sharing clock has been turned off. Thank you. And I hope you've had a chance to move away from your computer and take care of yourself. A quick reminder to put your questions into the Q&A box. Our next session is going to give you a snapshot of the episodic disability resources we have at Realize. Welcome back to our national lead of episodic disabilities, Melissa Egan. Melissa?
I hope everyone enjoyed the last session. It's always amazing to have a chance to support and encourage storytelling within our work. As Tracy told us yesterday, this is a big part of how we create community and how we build ourselves up. That is just one part of the work that I do at Realize, and that is part of our program for episodic disabilities at Realize. What I'm going to talk a little bit about today is a few more of the things that we do. So you may or may not know, but Realize is a national nonprofit. And what we try and do with our work is create positive change for people who are living with HIV and other episodic disabilities. And as you may be able to see, we've been around for 25 years. We're just coming to the end of our 25th fiscal year, which we are very proud of. And we really started as a small working group. 25 years ago, a small group of people got together and thought, how do we bridge the separate worlds of HIV, disability, and rehabilitation? And here we are, all of these years later, with a really robust program and a strong place to work. What we do is try and improve people's lives. And we do this in direct ways and in meaningful ways through research and through education that we hope changes policy as well as practice. As Tammy told us yesterday, we are the Secretariat of the National Episodic Disabilities Forum. This is a group of people who come together quarterly, and we build community around episodic disability. We listen to each other, we share resources, we share work, and we promote what the others are doing. If you're interested in being a part of that, just let me know. We've also developed the IDEAL framework, which stands for inclusion, diversity, equity, accessibility, leading to belonging. So we added a few letters to DEI work because we think they're very important. We also partner on many national and provincial research projects. We do policy work with government representatives and advocacy groups across Canada. We do this. We host the annual National Summit on Episodic Disabilities and Employment. And the last 2 points on this slide are what I'm going to be discussing: our online trainings and our free and low-cost workshops. So let's get started. Many employers hold the view that disability is ongoing, more or less something that someone experiences the same way every day. And this may not be the case for people living with episodic disabilities who experience unpredictable periods of relative good health between periods of relative limitations or illness. So as a consequence, a person may need workplace accommodations from an inclusive and disability confident employer. Within this workshop, we create a foundational training which invites all of our participants to develop that basic understanding of what episodic disability is through dialogue, reflection, and awareness building. So this is a 2-hour introductory online workshop. And we do an overview of episodic disabilities, and we begin to talk about mental health and stigma, accommodation and disclosure, and it is an opportunity to hear from someone with lived experience of working with an episodic disability. This is our Episodic Disabilities 101, if you will. But we can go deeper, so we do. for organizations looking for a more comprehensive understanding of episodic disability in the workplace, we have created immersive learning experiences. This is 4 parts. They are scaffolded, interactive, tailored, group-based approaches to learning about episodic disability. These sessions are flexible and contextualized. We use a slow learning, discussion-based approach to this workshop as central principles, and each one of the sessions is adapted to the needs of the organization, which makes the content relevant to the organizational culture and sector. Our facilitators use engaging, thought-provoking, introspective questions to invite group and individual thought through dialogue or writing, whichever the group is more comfortable with. During each session, we discuss things in pairs or small groups, as well as engage in large group discussion. These immersive learning experiences are 4 sessions of 2 hours each, and every session includes an integration activity that aligns the content presented with predetermined organizational roles. But what if you want more? Well, we can do that too. We have recently developed what we call the Ideal Ready certification. This is comprehensive, it's sequential, and it is a scaffolded learning experience, and it applies the principles of workplace belonging that we have developed, and it really centers these ideal principles: inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility, leading to belonging. This certification has been developed for organizations and individuals with a mindset of making ongoing improvements to enhance the experience of belonging at all organizational levels. So participants complete a series of combined live trainings as well as self-directed learning. And this helps them to develop foundational principles, which they then come back together to have a series of sessions to discuss how the principles they learned can be applied to their organizational context. A designation of Ideal Ready is considered a point of readiness for moving forward, but not a stamp of completion. Belonging is a journey, not a destination. And so the Ideal Ready certification is a resource that can enhance employer confidence and capacity in ideal-related leadership. So you'll see that we do an introductory workshop that gives people a sense of realized disability and episodic disability. And then foundational learning happens through online courses. And then the group comes back together for 3 additional sessions that you saw in the immersive learning experiences slides. So we pull everything together. But what if you just don't have time for that? Well, we have self-directed online courses. For anyone who's interested in this self-directed style of learning that happens on your own time, when you want to do it and how you want to do it, we offer 9 online courses. These are for a variety of audiences. A lot of them are for HR practitioners, but we also have courses for frontline managers, folks who are involved in DEI work, self-employed people who are living with episodic disabilities, as well as senior leadership who are living with episodic disabilities. This slide gives you a sense of 2 of our in-depth courses for HR practitioners. So an introduction to episodic disabilities, and then the next course, which would be accommodating workplaces, episodic disabilities, and leading practices at work. We have a couple more here. This one is understanding and supporting employees with episodic disabilities, specifically for managers and supervisors. And then here are a couple more. This one is called Belonging at Work, which builds on the leading edge work that we do in DEI by filling the current gaps in knowledge and practice related to episodic disabilities in the workplace. The course focuses on the importance of looking at a whole person, rather than just unintentionally highlighting some aspects of marginalized identities and leaving others out. The introduction to episodic disabilities for post-secondary students is unique. It's a copyrighted, free-to-use introductory mini lecture intended for post-secondary instructors to integrate into their own course material. The slide deck is available for download from our website, and the presentation includes suggestions for interactive activities to integrate the learning into the focus of their courses. So these are some of the things that we've got. What else? Well, we have a few websites that perhaps in your registration for this summit, you had a chance to look at one of them, which is realizecanada.org. You will see that it highlights the 3 pillars of our work: HIV and aging, optimal health and well-being, as well as episodic disability. And our website delves into each one of these pillars and gives you a wonderful snapshot of all of the things that we do and many of the resources that we produce. Among them is a page full of information about living with long COVID for both people who experience it as well as their healthcare practitioners. We'd also like to highlight the forum. This is a resource website that we have recently developed where we provide resources for employment and the workplace with toolkits and fact sheets that support people with episodic disabilities as well as the other folks in their lives, including their employers. Lastly, I just want to highlight our own workplace disclosure decision guide. This is an online interactive tool that really prompts the consideration of factors that might influence whether someone discloses their health condition at work. Excuse me. We developed this site in partnership with the University of Manitoba. Excuse me. I do want to highlight that this site does not tell you what to do. It rather supports you to choose whether disclosure is right for you right now. And that's it. I'm sure you've heard enough from me today, but I do want to offer up my email address. Connect with me at melissae@realizecanada.org if you have any questions, if you're interested in bringing one of these programs to your workplace, or if you just want to chat. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Melissa.